Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Saturn in our birth charts and what it represents. If you're not sure where Saturn was placed during your time of birth, there is a birth chart link down below. If you do not have your time of birth, you can check the Saturn table to find out where Saturn was placed during your time of birth. Saturn is known as a malefic planet, which means that Saturn brings challenges and obstacles into our lives. Unlike Jupiter, where Jupiter expands and brings about lots of luck and blessings, Saturn restricts us. It sets limitations, boundaries, and restrictions on our lives. Saturn is also known as the planet of karma, and is also known as the planet of the ultimate rewards. Saturn rules time. It is very slow moving. It takes Saturn about 28 years to orbit the sun. Saturn loves structure, discipline, and authority. Saturn is the natural ruler of Capricorn. Capricorn is the natural ruler of the 10th house of status. It is our public persona. So Saturn actually represents a very important part of our life. It is the peak of our chart. It is what we want the world to see us as. That is what Saturn represents. Wherever Saturn sits in your birth chart, that's the area of your life that you want the world to see you as amazing in that area. However, Saturn will not make it easy for you. Saturn will make you struggle. Saturn will make you feel like you cannot achieve in this area of your life. No matter how hard you try, no matter what sacrifices you make, you will feel like you cannot achieve in this area of your life. But that's not true. Have you ever heard someone say that when your Saturn returns, that is when you should get married? That is when you should put in for that special type job that you always wanted? Well, the reason why they're saying that is because when your Saturn returns, usually around the age of 27 through 30, that is when you've matured. That's when you should have learned the lessons of Saturn, and now you're ready to receive the blessings of Saturn. Because a lot of times if you do something that's major in your life before your Saturn returns, then you're probably gonna have to go back and redo it, depending on where Saturn sits. The house that Saturn sits in your birth chart is very important. And also to look at the houses that Saturn is looking at, the houses that Saturn is aspecting as well, because these are the areas of your life where you're going to face the most challenges and obstacles, okay? So those of you who are new to the channel, welcome to the channel, and I hope that you will subscribe and also share my content. Let's get into the video. Saturn in Libra. Oh my God, Saturn is exalted in the sign of Libra. And what that means is that Saturn becomes what Saturn wants to become. Saturn becomes a judge. Saturn becomes a diplomat. Saturn becomes everything that Saturn represents in the sign of Libra. Libra naturally rules the 7th house of other people, and Saturn is all about the people, all about justice, and that's what Libra represents. So congratulations, Libra. Saturn is exalted in the sign of Libra. Saturn and Libras are just, you guys are just naturally good with judgment. You guys know when to be a diplomat, when to be, you guys just know how to make a grand impression on other people. You know when to be aggressive. You know when to be diplomatic. You just know when to just do what you need to do when you need to do it. And that is because Saturn brings in that structure in the area where you already have all these great gifts, because Libra is all about justice. Libra is all about other people. It's all about connecting with others. And having Saturn here, you know how to do it in the most structured type way and the most justifiable type way. Saturn is exalted in the sign of Libra. Okay, Saturn still brings some sorrow. Wherever Saturn is, it's a dark planet. It's going to bring some dark moments. So Saturn and Libras may suffer in terms of relationship. There may be obstacles placed in front of Libras when it comes to relationships. Saturn and Libras may have to go through many different hurdles to find that right person, to find that right marriage. But nonetheless, you guys usually do find the right person. I do feel like Saturn and Libras tend to have a double marriage, but there are other aspects in your chart that helps to determine this more accurately. But Saturn and Libras, a lot of times where they have their obstacles is in the form of relationships with others. Not others as a worldwide others, but significant others, and that is their marital partners, you know, their spouses, you know, our business partnerships and things of that nature. Sometimes they have to have a hard fall in this area of their life, and then they build it back up with the right person. Okay, Saturn does not deny. It delays but does not deny a happy life or a happy married life for Saturn in Libras. I do find it that a lot of Saturn in Libra type people, they tend to have like a childhood sweetheart, or someone they went to school with, or someone they had this long relationship with for a very extended period of time, but it started very young, but then it only ended in like either divorce or some type of loss. And because of that heartbreak, they keep searching. Because of the heartbreak, they want to find a replacement. But in terms of their searching, you know, a lot of times, you know, they do suffer a lot of disappointments here. But again, when they do find that right person, they're willing to give their all to make this relationship work. So Saturn and Libras, a lot of times in relationships, they tend to be the one to give the most, especially in the beginning. But I do feel like as time progresses for Saturn and Libra types, they actually begin to gain from their partners in a sense, but some will never gain from their partners. But nonetheless, they do tend to have a very structured married life. Okay, not always the most happiest, because Saturn is a dry planet. Saturn is, you know, a dark planet, you know, and so it's not necessarily the best marriage, but they do have a marriage, they do have a partner, and that's very important to Libras in general, is to have a relationship. So Saturn brings in that structure, it brings in that longevity, because Saturn is that planet of, you know, duration. It rules time. So Saturn is going to make sure that when Saturn and Libras get married, they're going to have a long marriage. Okay, good or bad, it will be a long marriage. Like Saturn and Libra types, they have lots of success when it comes to the public life, like in the public life, in like their job or something. People just love Saturn and Libras, you know, in their jobs. They may, you know, they may rise to the top, you know, because of their, you know, their good judgment. You know, people just like Saturn and Libras because they seem fair and just. You know, they think about other people. They're just not thinking about themselves. And people like that, because in a business, that's what you want. You want a person who thinks about others and not just themselves, because, you know, they're going to make the best decision to balance out the situation. And that's exactly what happens for Saturn and Libras. So a lot of times they really climb the ladder in their career or their profession. Now, of course, if there's some type of malefic aspects that Saturn is getting here, of course Saturn is already malefic, but if there's more malefic, like if Venus is sitting in a damaged house, you know, like, or Venus is getting malefic aspects, then of course this is not going to play out. This position is not going to play out this way for you. But Saturn and Libra alone, this energy does make way for success in your career. I feel like Saturn and Libras, they really don't get in trouble a lot. Like, it's in terms of work and dealing with other people. A lot of times the only way Saturn and Libras get into trouble is when they're doing something they're not supposed to be doing. Okay, like a lot of times, but that's kind of like on the rare side. They're usually always trying to do what is right. They are so good with that. They want to do what's right. And I love this quality in Saturn and Libra type people. They're very just, and they try to be fair in every aspect of their life. I feel like Saturn and Libras, you know, again, when they were young, they kind of like had a parent that taught them to always be honest, you know, always be fair, always share. You know, just be a good person in general. You never know what a person is going through. So always try to, you know, greet them with a smile and just be kind to people. And I feel like this really, you know, extended into their adult life, making them some of the greatest people that ever walked this earth. I love Saturn and Libra type people. I really do. I think you guys are amazing. Those of you who have not reached your Saturn return around the ages of 26 and 30, just if you haven't, and if you don't feel some of these qualities of this position, just give it time. Give your Saturn some time to mature, and, you know, start implementing, you know, doing what's right, doing what's fair, doing what is just in your life. It should naturally come for you, but sometimes the obstacle of fear, the obstacle of, you know, being taken advantage of can kind of like, you know, show its ugly head. But you have to realize that man does not make decisions for you. You do things for man. You work for man, but you work through man. But all of your blessings, everything that happens for you, it comes from God. You know, it comes from the universe. It's not, man is just a formality. So you can't worry about how they're going to respond to you. Just remember that the energy that you put into the universe is the energy that you will get back. So start implementing those great, kind ways into your life right now, okay? I feel like Saturn and Libras shouldn't get married until their Saturn returns, because I know that Saturn and Libras, they like to get married pretty early because Libras are all about relationships. But I do feel like you guys should wait until your Saturn return so that you don't have to experience a divorce, because most Saturn and Libras that I know that got married before their Saturn return, they actually are working on a second marriage right now, or they are dealing with a divorce. Okay, so whatever the case may be, I do love this position. Saturn is really happy in the sign of Libra. This is his most favorite spot. So with that being said, you guys, I hope this helped you guys out, and until the next time, I wish you so much love, peace, and so many wonderful blessings. Bye.